Okay, so good morning. Any question from the last meeting?
There's no questions. There's no questions, sir.
Okay, all right. So let's start then. Here is the big picture why we are going to discuss what we are going to discuss today. Okay. So far, you already covered three markets in macroeconomics. The first one is the goods market. Okay, when we talk about the the GDP by expenditure, that's basically about the goods market. Okay, and we also discuss about the money market. When we talk about the real balance, where we discuss about the relation between the real money demand and the interest rate and the output. That's the money market essentially. And then last week we discussed about the exchange rate, the role of the exchange rate, and that is part of the financial market. Although it is only part, so it's not really the full financial market. So essentially you have covered three markets so far: goods market, money market, and financial market or the exchange rate market. Okay. Now, before we start today, let me give some clarification about the financial market. As I said earlier, so far what we discuss is only the exchange rate market. We discussed about UIP, uncovered interest parity, and the role of the exchange rate in trade, in export, import, current account, and trade deficit, and so on. But you know very well, when we talk about financial market, it goes beyond just exchange rate, because financial market consists of so many sub-markets. Two of them are very common and quite well known. Number one is the stock market, and the second is the bonds market, or sometimes people call it the debt market, because bonds market and the debt market is basically equivalent. So I thought, since today we are going to introduce a new market number 4, and that is the labor market, I thought we need to complete first the financial market so that you will have a full understanding about all those 4 markets. What we are going to discuss today is market number 4, which is the labor market. And if you look at the course outline, the syllabus, next week we're supposed to talk about expectation and so forth. I decided to change that. So next week, instead of talking about expectation, uncertainty, and so forth, we are going to discuss about the remaining financial market, more specifically the bonds market and the stock market, so that by the end of next week, because I understand after next week, the group will start explaining the long-term macroeconomics. So I want to complete and to finish the short-term and medium-term by next week by completing all the markets. So in other words, today we are going to discuss the labor market, but next week we will discuss about the remaining markets of the financial market, and those are the stock market and the bonds market. Okay, I want to make it clear first, because in the course outline, the sequence a little bit different, and I decided to change that. Actually, I decided yesterday to change the sequence because I thought it's more useful for you to understand the entire market fully first before we talk about anomalies, right? Like uncertainty, expectation, and so forth. Okay. All right. So today the topic is on labor market. As I said, this is the 4th market. Now you recall from the last couple of meetings, when I explained the workhorse model of the 3 markets, the goods market, the money market, and the exchange rate market, you notice that I did not only explain the mechanism, but I also introduce the effect of policies, monetary policy, fiscal policy, and in some cases, when we talk about the open economy, I also introduce the trade policy, exchange rate policies. Okay. Now, all what you learned was not wrong, but it was incomplete. So that the conclusion, whatever the conclusion that I explained to you in the last couple of weeks, the conclusions of any impact of the policy, whether it's monetary, fiscal, or exchange rate policy, can be different than after today's class. Okay? The reason is very simple. All the mechanism that I explained so far is the mechanism as a result of the interaction among three markets only, which market, money markets, and the exchange rate market. But you will notice today, by the end of today, that some of the conclusions that I explained the last couple of weeks will be different when you introduce the fourth market, which is the labor market. Okay. One of the key components in the labor market is associated with a variable that changes only in the medium run, but it doesn't change in the short run. And that variable is price, basically. So, you notice all the discussion so far, we are not talking about the price. We treat price only as an exogenous. So in other words, we don't allow price to change. Okay. So the only role of the price so far is only to make it, for example, in the money demand, we want to make it money demand in real terms. That's where we talk about the real balance. When we try to generate the ISLN curve, we use the M over P, but we don't change the P at all. Why? Because in the short run, P is supposed to be unchanged, so remains constant. But now, today, we are moving towards medium run. Okay. Now, in the medium run, price will change. So you can imagine all the mechanism that you learned so far, which assume that price does not change. But now, in the medium run, price changes. And that is the reasons why I said earlier, any conclusion that you learn so far may be different once you introduce prices in the model, in the mechanisms. Okay. So let's start with what happened in the labor market. And if you look at the first chart, if you look at the first, no, not this one. The first chart is